It was as if a great floodlight had gone on and it illuminated everything.
We were so idealistic, we were so energetic, we were so in your face, and there were so many of us.
We had to change the system.
What we are talking about is a revolution and not a reform.
Meryl Streep narrates this groundbreaking program about the women's movement. Betsy West is one of the executive producers of Makers, Women Who Make America.
It is a fascinating and amazingly entertaining story, and I hope it's informative as well.
The Boston Marathon.
Who knew? In 1967, women didn't run marathons. One woman, Catherine Switzer, who was an undergraduate at Syracuse, just decided she was going to enter with her initials, K. Switzer. So she's running along with her boyfriend and her coach, and all of the other runners are going, gee, it's a girl. But one of the race officials saw her, jumped off the press truck,
And they just grabbed me and screamed at me, get the hell out of my race and give me those numbers. And all of a sudden, Big Tom, my boyfriend, came with a streak and gave Jock the most incredible crossbody block and sent Jock flying right through the air and landed on the curb. And all of this happened in front of the press truck. Journalists got very aggressive. What are you trying to prove? You know, are you a suffragette? Are you a crusader? Whatever that is, you know. And I said, what? I'm just trying to run. And I turned to Arnie and I said, Arnie, I'm going to finish this race on my hands and my knees if I have to.
You know, it's so amazing. She finished the race, and it made huge headlines, but it took 5 years before the Boston Marathon officially allowed women to enter.
There are so many great clips, especially the first hour, of flight attendants.
Yes, the stewardesses, who really are some of the first feminists.
Come fly with me, let's fly.
Former flight attendant Jean Montague.
We were the first jet setters.
If you can use
Walking down the street in your uniform, you could turn ahead. People would go,
let's fly.
I heard that airlines were having an interview in town. It was in a motel, and they would call them in one at a time. And it was my turn to go into the bedroom, and the first thing he said was hold up your skirt. And I said, excuse me? Let me see your legs.
In 1963, a writer named Betty Friedan published The Feminine Mystique, her scathing expose of the happy homemaker myth.
The feminine mystique has made us feel it's unfeminine to use our rights, to really want equality, to want to take part in the decisions of the world in politics. Career woman almost became a dirty word.
Some great clips, funny ones, Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah, and Marlo Thomas, who show That Girl was really a pioneering show. She had to fight with the network.
Now, Daddy, just a minute. At the moment, marriage is the furthest thing from our mom.
It's time it got a little closer.
Well, besides, I don't want to get married just yet. I have my career to think about.
I was this young actress, struggling and doing auditions, and I got a call from the head of the network. I said, look, everything I've read that you sent me, the girl is either the daughter of somebody, or the wife of somebody, or the secretary of somebody. Have you ever considered doing a show where the girl is the somebody? And I took out of my bag a book called The Feminine Mystique, and I put it on his desk. And I said, you really need to read this book. I said, because this is where it's going. Today's girls, we don't want to be our mothers. We want something completely different.
In 1970, CBS broadcast a sitcom about an unmarried news producer in Minneapolis called The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Never married.
No.
Why?
Why?
You type?
Mr. Grant, there's no simple answer to that question.
Yes, there is. How about, no, I can't type, or yes, I can?
Katie Couric, now of ABC. She makes the cut.
Katie Couric is certainly someone who feels a great debt to the women who came before her. I mean, she was, as we remember, the first female network anchor when she took over the CBS Evening News. And I think that, Katie understands that she owes a lot to women like Barbara Walters, who is also in this documentary.
I remember sending a memo to the president then of NBC News saying, shouldn't we do something on the women's movement? And scrawled on the top of my memo, it said, not enough interest.
Another maker in this documentary, Gloria Steinem.
We have been working with Gloria on this documentary. She was an advisor, and she also has played a huge and important role in the women's movement. Because here was a woman who was smart, articulate, beautiful, and showed that you didn't have to hate men to be part of the women's movement.
Here's Gloria on the Dick Cavett Show.
All the jokes there are about women's lib and all of that, and then people say, yeah, but what have you finally accomplished, really?
I think that women are changing the way they're thinking about themselves.
Betsy West, a pleasure to talk to you. Some final comments?
We're all so excited to be finally bringing this story to television. I think books have been written about it, but I don't think we've had a documentary that's told this kind of a definitive story in a sweeping way, bringing it up to the present. And I'm really looking forward to people seeing this, and I think to hearing some stories that I think will surprise them, and as I said, I hope will make them laugh and take them back to the Mad Men world, and see what the connection is to today.
Makers, Women Who Make America airs this coming Tuesday night over most PBS stations. Reporting for Perspective, I'm Bill Diehl, ABC News.